Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio. I am your host, Kelly Meehan, a citizen of the universe and a passage keeper and mentor for our new Earth children. I believe we are entering into a new psychic structure of our reality, and it is meant to embody deeper trust and ways into solid self-love and fearless integrity. Our new world energy of spirit babies needs us to consciously create within conception, trust pregnancy, and have freedom to birth and parent from innate wisdom. This is Spirit Baby Radio. Welcome to episode 232, December 2025. The endings for new beginnings with Spirit Baby communication. Bye to 2025. How was your 2025? What trends within fertility did you notice? Are you replaying the past stories? Has the universe kicked you in the ass? What is next for the future of your own conception into pregnancy? Wow, is all I can say. December. It's actually December 31st. This is New Year's Eve, 2025. 2026 will soon be here. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And it is always really beneficial to reflect back, right, on the struggles, which are probably in your face, and seeing how you overcome those struggles, seeing how your heart continues to evolve. I know that there's so much junk in this reality, to put it so gently, and there's a lot of grief and death and confusion, and we're going to continue to see more things unwind and experiences to be, healed, and at times with such uncertainty, with such mystery. And maybe you question this new earth energy, new earth child, new earth baby, and your fertility journey. I know that many over the past years keep deepening and questioning and awakening. Oftentimes I feel like it's very common, and you may have heard me say this many times before, is that the conception journey, it's an awakening. And why? I don't know why, into the depth and detail, maybe, of your deepest heart's awakening in just one question, right? In one moment. And maybe you have to really live it as an unwinding from your whole consciousness, your whole reality, and your true deep heart's journey of creative force, of creation. And it's so hard to not get trapped and caught up by biology, because there is a biological cellular connection to this reality, right? You feel your body, you connect with it, you touch your skin, you nourish your body, you're present to that. But at the same time, you are highly multidimensional. So you can be here in your body in many other places at once, and not in a bipolar, schizophrenic way, but in a very present, you are multidimensional being. And sometimes with these other diagnoses, or even ADD, ADHD, how interdimensional are you? Do you fully understand that reality? And how will your nervous system be able to integrate being in many places at once in a really beautiful, loving, and pure way? You are designed by nature and the universe. You are not separate. So how are you then looking into your design, finding your internal instructions, and moving forward from that space? That can be very challenging because your mind may be poking around, enforcing controlled fears and rules, right? From past traumas, from a lineage of history lived. Sometimes there's things even subconscious that are just unraveling its way through into action even when you don't want it to. So really looking at, yeah, how was your 2025? And all I can say for myself is that it was only uphill, or maybe I should say downhill, and a nice fun slide, because I think it was great and amazing for me. And what that means, because yeah, there are things that have happened, right, that jar us into certain other areas. So, the beginning of the year was very struggling. as I was integrating through a lot of death. My 2024 was so much loss and death and moving and having to reintegrate and reground and reconnect into a relationship with myself, with the frequencies of the earth, with even people that are coming into my space. And I'm going, well, if you're looking at that 2024, yeah, 2025 was amazing in comparison. But it also inspired me. And here's what I do. I like to be an alchemist. I like to find inspiration in the dark edges, in the dark corners, in the really intensified places. And many that have connect with me in sessions more privately understand what that means. And the calmness really is my intentional energy to bring into the nervous systems of everybody that interacts with me, to bring you not just into your spirit baby communication connections, but into your own embodiment, because you're important and you are love and baby is love. And the New Earth energy is asking for all of us to come together as a community and to keep moving forward in whatever that forward connection is, that forward energy is. So, looking at your own 2025 reflection, and maybe it's even foggy because I feel like, where is my fogginess? Like sometimes it's foggy because I've really, I want to say trained my body, but I really shift into presence time. And present time means you don't go backwards, you don't go forward. Though I'm not going to, well, I do future travel a lot. I don't feel like I do it on purpose. I sometimes feel like it just happens. And I'm still not, I still get that's a little tricky spot for me still. I'm like, what is that? And yet I'm just listening to the energy of moments that are around me. And when we're so present, I want you to sit in that reflective space, noticing when you are present, everything actually is really okay. You're not worrying, you're not trying to make the list, having that sense of controlled fear. You're not going into the dark stories that we all hold, right? For just self-abuse, self-criticism. When you're in the present time, feeling into your body, noticing your breath, even just sensing into the sunlight that touches you, the moonlight, just taking those quiet moments, everything is okay. And what lies ahead for you is unique for you. And your perception and the way you meet the world of energy is everything. You can touch your field of energy with everything or with nothing or shut it down. We are living in a very numbed out reality in 2025 and many years before that. Everybody has an addiction to something, whether it's food, supplements, other, nature, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like psychedelics, even ayahuasca, psilocybin, marijuana, like CBD. Like these are all, they actually are all distractions. And I know people feel very activated around that, but they are distractions. Anything we're putting obsessively and compulsively in use into our body of consciousness, it's hard to be in this world, right? A lot of people feel it, and we can't judge ourselves for the actions that we've taken unless they're really harming us and harming others. And something to look at and sit with because I feel like there's a lot of energy on who are we in our deepest light-bodied self, and can you be clean and free from all these different distractions? It seems like not. And I'm not trying to be a bummer or downer, but something to sit and be with. And are you in an addiction of rituals and emotions, or even addicted to the self-work has an addictive quality, right? And sometimes we have to take our own energetic heart vacation into what does it mean to be present to life without having all these rules and commitments and ways. And I have to go do this, I have to go do that. This is what this looks like. How can you begin to be more spontaneous, connecting with your fertile field, your fertile body of being? And maybe you've dabbled into intervention and it's frustrated you. Maybe you're hearing so much stuff in social media. We're so inundated, right? This is what I call trends, trends within fertility. What is the trends now? It's like, and maybe there's some value to some of the trends in the sense of, oh, everybody's looking at their blood sugar now when it comes to fertility. Where was that before? I don't know. Is that really scientific reason for everybody with infertility issues, or is it a select few, or is it new science? Is it just more information to be like, well, maybe we're doing better, or maybe it's meaningless, actually. And maybe we don't have the full answers because there are fertility trends. Years ago, it was eggs, then it was the sperm. Now it's this toxicity, that toxicity. And yeah, we're walking around with a lot of toxicities, but if your consciousness isn't clear, then you're going to attract and be in lower frequency toxicities. I don't make up those rules of quantum physics and attraction and energy. And as I say that, this reminds me of something. A few nights ago, this is something I've never even experienced. I've actually never even shared it with anybody yet. I live in this beautiful space of nature. It's very, there's a multi-dimensional nature quality, but there's also a lot of action in the sky. I've seen things in the sky I've never seen before. I haven't really talked about those on different occasions. And no, they're not satellites. No, they're not airplanes. We barely get any airplanes where I live. They're not, what is that sky thing that people talk about that trail the sky? It's not any of that. And yet I was sitting looking at the star night sky as I try to do every night or every other night, or when I feel called to really put my robe on. It's a little cold here now, and just breathe and just hello, universe, hello, stars, and just kind of be there in the quiet of nature. And it doesn't scare me to sit in the dark at all. Like there's nothing. I know, I feel like the kids are like, oh, it's too dark, or I don't want to go down there. It's like interesting what we do, but darkness isn't what we think it is. It's just the absence of light, but then the darkness changes, right? So I'm sitting not too far from the doorway and I kind of look over at the door, but I'm also looking at the sky right above the house. And my 14-year-old, I see him walk by. And as soon as he walked by, I noticed a big arc of light outside of my house around the roof. And I kind of looked at it real quick and I'm like, that's interesting. What was that? And then I had this realization, and this is what goes on in my mind. I feel like we have so many opening portals of information literally in front of us. Sit in the quiet. Same thing with your fertility. Sit in the quiet. Where's that portal opening to tell you what you need next? I have helped many find what they need next, and you know it's in you. It's a part of you. And so coming back to my story, so my 14-year-old is walking, and I realized that that was his auric field of energy, and it went through the house outside of the building. And then it made me really sit inward and go, wow, that's really interesting. I never really thought about that. But when I physically saw it, I realized that how interconnected we are. Like just because I'm in my house, that's not the barrier to my energy field. My energy field moves up and out through the buildings, through the land, probably even touches the neighbor at times. And his field went through the energy of everything, and I saw it. And I thought, wow, because if he didn't walk through, it wouldn't have happened. And I don't know why in that quiet moment that I saw something that was real. And then it made me think about when I lived in an apartment for many years, like what kind of energy was I emanating upstairs and downstairs because I was on the middle floor, and how we're sharing energy, and not in a gross and dirty way, like everybody's contagious, let's put your masks on kind of way. It's like we're just synergy with energy. And yeah, some people's energy can feel very overwhelming and very static and very disturbing. And same time, other energies can feel vibrant, full of life and joy and like life force. And we have to watch our attraction, watch what energy is around you and what you're putting out. And again, I love that I saw that. And I almost forgot that I saw that. And I'm loving that I get to share this at the end of the year, in December 2025, because this is just the beginning. I've also had these interesting dreams coming in lately about portals and interdimensional. And I do feel like I'm going to talk more about how you're opening up your own portal to receive life in a way that doesn't have to be this fight, right? So there's so much energy around the fight. There's so much question around the age. There's so much question around toxicities. And remember, your limitation is your own. And it's not just a mindset. The mind is a part of it, right? Because the mind holds our biggest obstacles. But once you begin to realize that there's more than just your mind that exists, you see a whole other reality. And I do feel like it's a good reality. It's a good life where the energy of baby's there, the connections of your love is there, your heart is there, and it's the eternalness of you. It is the forever energy of you, like spirit baby is a soul, a spirit that you're in communication with. And there's no doubts about that. Even though you may have doubts, you may have fear, and that's okay. But baby beings are still coming in, wanting to be born, wanting to connect. And I will talk about that in the next 2 weeks. I laugh because I'll talk about 2026 predictions. Can I give you predictions? I will try my best to see if the timelines want me to give more of a broader general energy for people and seeing what does that look like for fertility in the future. I do feel like there is some energy coming up with new techniques to expedite, to harness, conception through artificial ways. But I also want to kind of dig into the field of consciousness of nature, of natural connections. We've lost the art of natural conception in many different ways, and it's a very interesting space, right? It's a very tricky space because intervention can be such a blessing, but at the same time, intervention can be highly abused and overused. And I feel like what happens is to women and mothers, they're being pushed and forced and fear and you know what does that mean for the body you're creating, the synthetic, the energy, the connection of the spirit? And this is why when there is intervention, can you move in a very intuitive way? Can you move and slow down to be with nature in that synthetic way? There are ways to do that, absolutely. But is it really being offered? Is it really available? This is why you have to call in that deeper emotional healer spiritual support in a way where you're moving in that conscious way to bring in the blessings of life through the portal to go, look, there's this vessel, there's energy, there's connection. But again, it's such a unique journey for each mother, for each father. That's just kind of expanding and opening. And so, again, reflecting on 2025 and fertility, consciousness trends, things that are happening, and even in pregnancy and birth. And I feel like that's a whole other episode. As you know, my beliefs, if you've looked on at Spirit Baby Medium, Instagram, I've come out more and more about the protection of infants and the harm that's always done to them through the birth experience. And some would say, well, we all have a shitty birth experience or traumatic. And most, yeah, a high percentage of people do. But we are changing and shifting that babies no longer need to be having to work through the traumas of all of us to get to this space of this new earth being. And yeah, there are some babies that will have definitely layers of trauma to heal and be maybe even disconnected to this world for a very long time. But when we're giving them an opportunity to come in without obstacles, you're opening and shifting the energy in such a different way where the presence and what they're building and the nature of the universe and who they are and who they're becoming is everything. And that's the New World energy, that it is there, that it is positive, and there is light and love and joy in the future of humanity. And another kind of reflective, again, going back and forth is, are you replaying the old stories? And, you know, where are you feeling? Where is your journey of conception right now in this very moment? Where is the journey? Maybe you're in pregnancy and maybe you're not sure what's happening with baby, or maybe you're scared, there's fear, or maybe you're questioning the birth. What is that birth like? And you have to be courageous and step forward into your heart, even in the intensity of fear. You do. And if you have, I feel like it comes back to having community, love, and support. If you can have someone believe in you enough, but you have to believe in you enough, that is everything. You and your baby are on this mission to be birthed together. It's not just one or the other, it's both of you together. And there's something beautiful in that and miraculous. And if you feel the inundated by the negative forces of birthing, because consciousness is still shifting, it's still off kilter. There's still a really deep lower frequency in birthing, especially in hospitals. And think about the org field that I shared earlier. It literally was going through the roof. Imagine a hospital full of people that need love, we'll say, sick and disease, right? They do. That's what they need. They need love. And they go there to ask for miracles to their healing. And next to that is the portal of life, babies being born. It doesn't work that way. It's a very confusing energy for a baby coming into life and then the sick and diseased sharing spaces. And I think they're trying to improve that, trying to separate it, birth centers, home births, free births. But I don't know how that's working because that is a whole other consciousness, right? And remember, where we hold and put our energy is everything. So maybe you're in conception, you're trying to figure out where your pregnancy energy is and where it's going, how you're kind of, expanding literally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and then birthing. And then, baby beings here, newborn care. What is that attachment parenting, that sacred mother bond and baby being? And then the new earth child is born free and here, and how you look at that connection of doing no harm, connecting with your baby in beautiful ways. And there will be traumatic things that may happen, whether it's in the fertility journey, pregnancy, birth. And then you just open up your field to just be in the highest of service to the healing that is being asked of you, your family, and forward energy. So what else is going on for 2025? The end. Well, I should say what has happened in 2025 with New Earth Children, Spirit Baby Communication, this reality of my own. A lot was accomplished, and maybe you don't know this, but and also life is not without risk and living deeply. So in the past year, in the past months, a lot of really cool things happened. Spirit Baby Radio. I want to talk about Spirit Baby Radio. This is what we're on right now. And I want to share with you my 5 top downloads of 2025, which is a little tricky because, we're coming to the end of the year. I feel like the more the downloads came, in mid. So, the more people are looking at it throughout the year, they're going to get more favor, I suppose. So, but I wanted to share, kind of went back, did some research, and the one thing I did with Spirit Baby Radio in April, where I turned 50 and I was very excited, I offered something for 2 months, and it's something I do want to offer through into the new year, is something called Spirit Baby Stories. And Spirit Baby Stories is stories from you about conception, trying to conceive. It's about being pregnant. It's about sharing your stories of miscarriage and stillbirth and infancy loss and termination. All these stories are so beneficial for everybody that tunes in. And out of the top 5, I think there were 2 I'm going to share that were Spirit Baby stories that got a lot of notice and curiosities. And I love that because it's the stories of the people that gives our hearts and builds our connections together. And so in honor and celebration, the 2025 top five, maybe I'll go into that. I'll go into that first. And then I want to share, yeah, what has this year brought in this world of spirit baby communication more. So, number one, I have listed it in order of episodes. So, episode 206, your fertile frequencies and reproductive healing with energetic wisdom and spirit babies with Lindsay. And this episode was how do you access your own spirit baby wisdom? What ways can you bring energetic healing into your fertility? And are you open to allowing science of spirituality? And Lindsay, amazing spirit baby, intuitive, and like literally plus 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 so much more. And we had an amazing conversation, two spirit baby intuitives connecting and having the energetic quantum fertility conversations. And that was really awesome. And I put her up here, 1 out of 5. The second one was episode 215, Spirit Baby Stories, Conception into Pregnancy. This is all about the New Earth children of today, real and personal spirit baby stories that carry messages of love, hope, connection, and truth. And that was a special guest, Audrey, which I said as an expert in motherhood. And the next one is 217 Spirit Baby Stories, Conception into Pregnancy, coincidentally. I think a lot of people want to hear these stories. The New Earth Child of Today, same thing, real and personal Spirit Baby stories that carry messages of love, hope, connection, and truth. And that special guest. I'm like skipping over my words. Was Devin, an expert in motherhood, of course, and she shared her personal, real life story. And both of these Spirit Baby stories talk about spirit baby communication, listening to how others communicate. What does that feel like? And remember, what is your own connection to your own spirit baby or babies, and what does that look like? The next one is episode 220, The Energetic and Spiritual Realities of Conception for the Fabulous 40s and Up, which I think is so awesome, right? And that was about how do you welcome conception at 40 and up? Are you obsessed with your conception and taking millions of supplements and doing it all? How can you find your own heart's path to receiving conception into pregnancy in 2025 and beyond? That was episode was just me. I was the focus like this episode. And yeah, we are doing this. This is all about fertile, fabulous, having babies in our 40s, and it is awesome and it is available. I am now a 50-year-old and with a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. So yes, it is possible. And I am just one out of thousands, thousands of thousands. It is more common than people realize. The next episode I have, the final number 5 here, is 228 with Lee. Remember, your child was born intuitive. Let us explore telepathic communication and blindfolded inner light vision. How can you support your intuitive child? What is infinite inner vision? Can children actually read and see blindfolded? How does telepathy support this? Can children improve academic performance, increase memory, social skills, and creativity? And that was Lee, Connection to Healing. And that was all about, it was such a fun episode. I loved it. It's blindfolded reading, it's telepathic communication, it's using our abilities, not just as adults, but children, helping them remember and see that they have this ability not to shut it down, not to de-spark them into their own sparkle, right? Into their own abilities. So those were my top 5. Maybe go back if you are in love with Spirit Baby Radio, 206, 215. 217, 220, 228, but all episodes. There's a lot of episodes to take into your heart space to grow from, and let it keep healing you. Let it bring you something beneficial, as I said, something of meaning, because that's really the purpose of Spirit Baby Radio, going strong now for how many years is it? Has it been 9 years? My gosh. Well, I guess if that's the case, let me see. Has it been longer? I'll have to review that and then have a party. We'll have a Spirit Baby radio party and have some awesome giveaways. I love sharing anything about Spirit Baby communication, maybe some books and cards and other fun access to membership and and just Spirit Baby Immersion, other fun programs and series. Before I come to an end, I do want to share Spirit Baby Oracle cards is going to be rebranded as Spirit Baby is your Oracle, and they will be officially available for pre-order in January. And you will have to pre-order because these decks are going to go quick and they're so beautiful. And they will help you in conception, pregnancy, and healing through birth loss. And I've pulled them on Instagram. I do them in my monthly membership every week. Everybody gets a Spirit Baby Oracle message in the Spirit Baby Collective. And that's that monthly connection. In that, the Mighty Networks. If you are in birth loss, don't forget, Motherhood to Mediumship is a free space. And it's just like a space you can post, listen to resources, read things, connect in that space. It's more private. Facebook is like 3 billion users. So this is not 3 billion users, a private space. There's also Health Intuitive in there and other hidden groups, of course, that you can come and explore or not explore. And that's still going strong, monthly membership. In this year, what opened up in 2025 in the past months is Natural Conception Circle. And that's if you're 35 and up, 40 and up, even over 50. This is your circle if you are a woman who does not want to do any intervention and really believes that you have the nature and natural frequency to connect with your natural fertility, your natural connection in that space. And that is your natural conception circle. And it changes each month to try to hit everybody's time zone. And of course, we've accomplished, I think, 2 times co-creation, 4-week series, all about, from fertility to pregnancy, getting you connected. Spirit Baby Academy, graduating students very soon, coming through. If you are a Spirit Baby Intuitive, Spirit Baby Medium, work in fertility, that's been really fun and amazing. The women are just they baffle me in such awe and honor. They're so amazing, and we spend 4 months intensive, but 6 months really just doing the work together, getting that student to their next level of their awesomeness and bringing Spirit Baby out into the world. And 2025 sessions keep coming. I did add more new sessions, I believe. Yeah, they came in this year. I didn't have children's reading officially on the website, but now it's called Children Born. I have an official page and it goes into detail of how I work with children, toddlers, teenagers. I do actually per request through consult. I will work with your teenager one-on-one just through connection, conversation. I call it unconventional therapy, but also somatic work, exercise, connecting with the body, listening to energy. And your child doesn't have to share psychic conversations with me and energy, but I'm open to that. There's all kinds of different experiences children have, and I've opened the space up for that. I've also opened up the space for children in infancy death, doulaing, kind of more like telepathic support, and working with infants that is maybe in between worlds of energy. My telepathy is really present. So I hear children in the NICU, I can hear in a coma, and get messages to mom and dad, messages to the family, messages to anybody to feel and connect with their child. And I do it very evidential. So my goal is to get evidential. So really bringing evidence that this is their child's connection with them, not just basic, energy, but really deeper, really details I really like. And those are the sessions keep coming. I am doing medical intuitive sessions are coming in per request because I am now going to be sharing with as the visionary team with NOMI, National Organization for Medical Intuition. I'm so excited to hear and connect with other people. And in that too, not in that, but because of the medical intuitive inspiration, I will be having Becoming Your Own Health Intuitive coming out next year, a 6-week experience of really kind of digging into your own health and wellness through your own inner medical intuitive and energy scanning and what that all means. That is very exciting. So keep eyes out for 2026 in that energy. And this is the year for me of poetry. I open mic, I got a speaking gig. I'm gearing up for keynote. What does that look like? I am expanding because the universe is pushing me through the door. I can no longer sit on the other side And all these, different accomplishments do fuel me, and nature continues to give. And I want you to not feel if 2025 was sucky and terrible, it's okay. You still have tomorrow and the next day and the next day to remember that you are a magnificent light being. You are a frequency, an impulse of consciousness just beaming out into this reality. And your spirit baby beings are with you, whether they're ready to come or becoming a guard or guide to you. Open your heart every day. Remember to love yourself. And wherever you are in the world, just take a moment with a cup of tea, stare at the moon, stare at the sun, and just remember, and know that I'm here for you moving forward. Email me, send me a message. I always have space to connect with others, no matter how many emails or messages I get from time to time. And I send you off with so much love. Goodbye, 2025. And I want to thank you all for joining episode 232, The Endings for New Beginnings with Spirit Baby Communication. Bye to 2025. Thank you for joining Spirit Baby Radio with your host, me, Kelly Meehan. Please join my community and stay in touch with monthly energy rants, Spirit Baby poetry, and get access to Spirit Baby 101 with tips and practices at my newsletter at newearthchildren.com. And join me on Instagram with lives at Spirit Baby Medium, and join the Mighty Networks, the Spirit Baby Collective membership, and Motherhood to Mediumship. Remember, you are the heart that holds communication, and it is your time to connect. Come share in the great shift of your mind and the true spirit of your heart with Spirit Baby Communication.